presented by Novavax. This is their the 25th different program to win the Maui Invitational in their second appearance. And Coach, congrats. What are your thoughts after today's game?
Well, sitting beside me is 39 points, 19 rebounds, 12 assists, and only 2 turnovers. I'd say we got pretty dominant play from our bigs. And, you know, it's kind of an interesting story. Dylan has had the challenge of playing behind the last couple of years Walker Kessler and Johni Broome. And you just wouldn't believe how eloquently he did that. And when Johni decided to come back, we knew we could have a chance to have a really good team. And one of the things that Dylan and I talked about his coming back was not playing behind Johni, but playing with him. And we worked on it all summer, all fall. And it wasn't great this summer or fall, right? And they wanted to play together so badly. And so I kept on, you know, in practice going, look, this is fine, we got time, but here's the plus minus. We have to play faster, we have to play quicker. Anyways, I'm just happy for these guys because these guys are loving playing together. And they always were, they were never on the floor together very much in the last couple of years. So it's just incredible. They got great chemistry, they trust each other, they listen to each other. And as a result, I believe we get the best front line in college basketball.
Johni, tournament MVP, congratulations. What are your thoughts after 3 games here in Maui?
You know, first off, all glory to God. You know, thank my teammates, thank my coaches. You know, without them, I wouldn't have this trophy. You know, the Auburn family traveling. I don't think we would have won the tournament without them. You know, it felt like home, and I'm proud of my teammates, my Auburn family.
All right, any questions for Dylan or Johni?
Dylan, what got into you on offense there? What was working so well that you were able just to get at the rim whenever you wanted to?
Yeah. First things first, you know, I'll go to my God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. You know, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Johni right here. Before the game started, when we were in the film this morning, he said, you know, we're going to double team big cross or whatever. And he just told me to go to the rim, to go to the backside, you're going to be open every time. And he just said, trust me with the lob, and I trusted him. And so, you know, it's great playing with Johni. It's a blessing to have him on my team, and it's a blessing to have him as my brother.
Johni, congratulations, first of all. You averaged 21.6 points per game in this tournament. You were 4 assists away from a triple-double. And on top of everyone's Player of the Year watched so far, you've helped cement Auburn become a top 5 program this year. What have you learned about yourself and how you've evolved as a player from your beginnings at Morehead State as a 3-star recruit?
Well, first off, you know, I came to Auburn because I saw what, you know, Coach Pearl was doing with the program. I saw, you know, Jabari, Walker, you know, Chuma, JT, Isaac. I saw what he'd done with those guys, and I wanted to come to a foundation that was already built. That's why I came to Auburn. And, you know, Coach trusted me, and I trusted him. And, I mean, the Player of the Year don't really matter to me. You know, I care about winning. As long as we keep winning, that's the eyes are on you. So I just look forward to keep winning and have my team win in any way I can.
Johni, Dylan says, you know, you're just telling him to be ready on the backside for some of the lobs. What was your headspace going into today, what you needed to do? And I guess how early on, you made a 3 on the first possession of the game, but how early on did you sort of feel that you had it coming?
You know, the first game, Iowa State double. And we knew that going into the game. Second game, North Carolina didn't double. And we won that game. And then this last game, they said they might play one-on-one, they might double. So it's just, you know, watching a little bit of film on them and just doing your research. But, you know, just trusting my teammates. You know, if teams want to double team me, I don't mind passing that because I trust them. Like Glenn said, I just told him to be ready for the rim, and he was ready. But my guards was also ready. They trusted me to get me on the side. I was able to get the ball back out to them. But I mean, I don't know.
Dylan, defensively, you guys were able to really shut them down, take away the stuff that they like to do, especially the 3-point shot. I know you had to go out on the perimeter, switch a lot. Just what was the key for y'all to be able to limit Memphis from doing what they like to do on offense?
Well, in our scouting report, we knew they had 3 really good shooting guards. You know, they're the best 3-point shooting team in the country percentage-wise. and we just didn't want them to get too hot, and we need to make sure that we stay on our shooters. 11, Hunter's a great shooter, pretty much makes 50% of his shots, and so just why let him get open three, just run off the line. So we were very locked into our scouting report. It was a short turnaround from yesterday. Coach Burrow said we have 18. That's before the first game, before yesterday's game. We had 18 hours to play 2 games, and so for this team to buy in and lock in this 18-hour window is just something special to see.
Dylan, right here. A few years ago, you were on the roster of that team that was a 2 seed last season. Obviously, a very, very good team as well. I know we're early, not even a month in, but as you take stock and kind of step back from this championship and think about the guys that are in that locker room with you, what feels different about this team and gives you even more belief that maybe this could be the best group you've ever been a part of?
We're just a tough scout. I'll leave it at that. Coach Burrow brought some guys that, when you're scouting guys, you don't know who to stop. I'm sure I won't have anybody scouting report offensively and then I just go off for 18. You don't know, who's going to be. Coach Burrow always says, it's going to be a different guy every night. And, you saw in this tournament, it could be Chad, it could be Cheney, it could be Denver, it could be Tahad, it could be anybody. All of our games is somewhat different, and it's just amazing to see. So that's the difference I've seen in this year's team. I don't know the word. What's that word? In comparison to years past, we're just a bunch of dogs.
Hey guys, just real quick, wondering if you guys watched this tournament growing up, and if so, and how does it feel to win it now and walk away with that trophy?
I know for me, I've definitely watched this tournament multiple times growing up. Probably the biggest tournament in basketball, besides March Madness. But like when Auburn was in it, they played UConn and those guys. I was at Morehead still, but I was watching that tournament as well. So I've always watched it.
And to win it?
To win it, it feels amazing. I always talk about my teammates and my coaches, but the Auburn family is really a family. So winning it, it feels better to win it with the guys in the locker room since we've been grinding this whole year and seeing everybody with a smile on their face, holding trophies up, being able to celebrate. It's great. It feels good to me.
Dylan, right here.
Do I answer that?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, for me, just look at the field we had to go against and to come out on top. You have a lot of respected programs. UConn, UNC, Michigan State, Memphis, those are all great teams. Dayton and Colorado. If I'm missing somebody, I apologize. Iowa State. Good grief. And it's a tough field, and we knew that coming in. And just to go out on top, it means a lot to me and give this team a lot of confidence in each other and the scouts that we have.
Yeah, Dylan, right here. Sorry. Coach Burrow was talking about obviously the relationship that you and Johni have had to have. Obviously, this pairing is working really well, but the last couple of years, what about your relationship made you comfortable being that role? And how did you, as he said, handle that as eloquently as you did?
Yeah, a year ago, pretty much this week, Johni and I became friends. The first year he was here, I looked at him as an opponent rather than my teammate. And, I kind of showed him on the court. I wasn't cheering for him. I wasn't really, happy for him as I should have been. Last year, the Lord really challenged me in that Virginia Tech game. I prayed for Johni and in warm-ups, and he dropped 30. But with him dropping 30, I only played 9 minutes. And the Lord gave me an option. He was like, you can either be happy that my prayer was answered, or I can be stingy that my teammate went off for 30. And after that Virginia Tech game, we went on to play in New York, and Johni got subbed out, and then I went 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and the loudest person in that arena was Johni Broome. And after that, he earned my respect, and I looked at him, not really earned my respect, but he became a brother to me because I realized that he was not my opposition, but he was a brother and was my teammate. And that's something that Coach Burrow's been telling us since we got here. I'm going to bring in guys that you're going to love on, you're going to be there for the rest of your life. So we're not the opponent. The guy in the locker room, we're not the opponent, and that's what that's what you see today. We have so many guys that are happy for one another rather than looking at them as competition. And I feel like once I let my pride go and I let that go, Johni and I's relationship really took off.
Johni, I felt like the last 2 games especially, you guys were winning the 50-50 balls, the hustle, winning on the glass. Just how crucial is that level of effort and keeping that up for all 40 minutes to what y'all do and what y'all preach?
Let's make one thing clear. Every film session, the first clip, BP says, we can't give you the 50-50 balls. So that's how he starts the film session every time, That's probably the one thing that you will get subbed out for that he don't play with is being out hustled, being not the most excited team to play. So getting the 50-50 balls And rebounding and things like that, that's effort, that thing you can control. So I feel like everybody in our locker room takes that accountability on doing that in order to win the ball games and help us.
All right, let's let Johni and Dylan go back to their
I
teams.
just want to say one thing, press conference should probably be over. Anybody that says student athletes have changed, anybody said this is not all about the student athletes, anybody want to complain about, this or that, this is old school pride, old school love their teammates, love their coaches, love the universities, just grateful, giving God the glory, so on and so forth. Kids haven't changed. Kids want to be coached, they want to be held accountable, they want to be believed in, and they want to be held to a high standard. That's just not changed. A lot of things around our game has changed. But this should give you guys and everybody watching hope. Because it's all about these kids and teaching them, and I'm just very proud of these young men.
Thanks, guys. Dylan, Johni.
Before we go, God bless.
That looks great on you, Johni. All right, questions for Coach Pearl?
Bruce, you talked about it all before the game, how good Memphis is at shooting threes. They were stuck on 2 attempts for most of the game. Just what was the key for y'all running them off the line and keeping them from getting hot like that?
Well, Memphis is better from 3 than 3 than they are from 2. And so, the whole scouting report was that's the only way they could beat us is to beat us from 3. So we pressed up, we switched out. We didn't mind bad matchups, but we just had to make sure we didn't leave the perimeter. And we just didn't allow any advantage, disadvantage, or not a whole lot. And, as a result, Haggerty, played well, was able to make some tough 2s. But that was what the defensive game plan. Again, Corey Williams and Chad Pruitt, that team had Iowa State. Iowa State's guys is really, really good, okay? They're really good. And then Mike Burgomaster and Ira Bowman and his scout team had North Carolina. What an honor to go up against the Tar Heels. And then Stephen Pearl, my son, had this one tonight. And Stephen's sort of my defensive coordinator, and he helps, kind of helps guide us there. Mike Burgomaster's my offensive coordinator, and he and I put the offensive game plans together. So I thought our coaches just did a tremendous job. And like Dylan talked about, short prep. Like we had 18 hours to get ready for Memphis, but that scouting report was on my desk when I got back to that hotel, and we were able to get the guys ready real quick.
Hey Bruce, right? You spoke about Mike over the past couple of days, and obviously over the past couple of years, he's grown to become a more important part of your staff. Just what was it in today's game that he saw that you guys could take advantage of, and how has he been able to make the most of all those different parts that Dylan was talking about that you have?
Who are we talking about?
Mike Burgomaster.
Yeah. Mike Burgomaster is a great story. Like a lot of guys on our team, come from pretty humble beginnings. He was a manager at Miami and wanted a GA job. Usually GA jobs go to former players. But I met Mike on a recommendation from one of my former assistants, Harris Adler, and the guys down in Miami. And I was impressed with his mind, and brought him up as a GA. And I'm not letting go. I'm not letting him go. He was able to take my system, our system, Dr. Tom Davis's system, and together we've been able to blend it with some of the harder actions to guard in basketball, whether it's European basketball or whoever's doing what. And in some way, I'd like to think that we've been doing some things for a few years that we are now seeing other people doing. It's about working as a team. So Mike's and what happens is we develop these offensive systems, and then Mike, like an offensive coordinator, is my play caller. Just like a football coach would have the headset on, and Mike is, okay, what's next? What's next? And I'll, 9 times out of 10, I'll go with what he's got.
Bruce, congratulations on winning the championship. You guys only have 1 week to rest and prepare for another tough match and face Duke at Cameron. So what did you learn the most about your team this week, and how will you use that to carry forward?
Well, obviously, Maui is, is a prize. We're so happy for the people here in Lahaina that the Maui Invitational and this field with this incredible group of coaches and programs were able to come back to the island. And, I saw my picture up there on the wall, and it was like Bill Self and Mike Krzyzewski and Tom Izzo, and I'm like, what am I doing up here? Come on. And I think my Pearl must have paid somebody to put his picture up there. But now my team and our coaching staff is, put us up there. The other one that's up there that matters to me, 1987, Dr. Tom Davis brought his Iowa team here. I was an assistant, and we won the 4th Maui Invitational. We came here a couple years ago with Auburn, and we won 2 games and lost to Duke by 4. And that team got to the Final Four. So this has been a great springboard, but the confidence that we're going to get from this is we know we can play with anybody. Where do we go from here? I promise you this, we'll stay humble and hungry. We will not begin to think much of ourselves. Just see we stay healthy, we continue to get God's blessing, we'll be in position.
Maybe a little different question. I saw you when JP came out in the first half.
Yeah.
I saw you, getting the crowd to applaud him. He had an extended run today in both halves and played well. Plus,
Yeah, JP had his best game for us. His confidence has been a struggle a little bit. He was much better defensively today, locked in, more aggressive, and we need him. Like these guys talked about. It's the sum of our parts, and so he's going to fight to be able to keep his own confidence, his aggressiveness, and so having him play so well. Chad Baker-Mazzara will not get a lot of talk about, but he was one of our most consistent performers. I mean, makes tough shots, shoots a great percentage. If I did more to get him more touches and put the ball in his hands more, people would be talking about Chad Baker-Mazzara nationally for how good a player he is. I hope NBA scouts saw how good a player he is, and again how unselfish and how productive he is. He almost always win the plus minus. We're just always better with him on the floor. Because we got to do at both ends. We talked about Denver Jones being one of the best defense guards in the country, and now playing both 1 and 2. And tonight, Miles Kelly did not play very much because he had a little bit of a issue with his wrist, and quite frankly, couldn't even shoot the ball. But he wanted to be out there for the first possession of both halves, because he wanted to see us get up to a good start defensively. And even if he couldn't shoot the ball, which he probably could not, we put him out there. What a teammate.
Coach, this tournament is part of what is probably some of the most ambitious non-conference scheduling that we've seen from you or from any of the program in recent history. What can you say about your mindset over the off-season scheduling, putting the schedule together, and how it's paying dividends?
Well, we knew we had a good team coming back, and I just want to keep in mind that Tahad Pettifor is probably the only 5-star on that team. All those kids have had to work so hard to improve and grow. Dylan Cardwell's been a program 5 years. Johni Broome 3 years. Chris Moore 5 years. We haven't had a lot of transfers. We've had let guys stay. We've graduated 32 African American students in the last 10 years. I don't think anybody in the country can say that. We've graduated 40 kids in the last 10 years. We're proud of that. And there's a correlation, I believe, between the discipline, the accountability, and the responsibility to be Auburn men. You heard the kids talking about Auburn over and over and over again, what that means. It means responsibility there. Now we don't always, we don't always represent the way we'd like to, but I think that there's definitely some reasons why we scheduled up as hard as we possibly could, because I wanted to give these kids the opportunity, and now we got to see if we can take advantage of it.
Bruce, Penny said he still remember playing you guys from 2 years ago, specifically playing against Johni, and the biggest takeaway that he had was the difference in how focused and how locked in Johni was today versus when you played 2 years ago. How have you seen him make that evolution, and how much of a statement was it today of the growth he's made in that capacity?
Yeah, Johni's grown a great deal. I know that he's a big guy, Okay, let's just say Johni is 22 years old. So let's say I got him when he was 19. He was a young 19, even though he looks like he's a large man. He was young. He's the youngest of a few kids in that family, and he's grown up. He's matured. One of the things he talked about is, Coach, trust me. You know, I try to hold them accountable. I try to have a high expectation for them. So we knock heads, you know, because I'm not satisfied. I know you're capable of more, but he's responded really, really, really well today. He's matured. He's become a really good leader on this team, and so he won't let us celebrate this too much. We'll celebrate it for a day or two right now, and have a happier Thanksgiving, and then when we travel back, you know, we'll get back to work.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Congratulations again.